Hey guys, how's it going? Today's video is not going to be Nanowrimo related, finally. Today's video is actually going to be the end of year book tag, originally created by Ariel Bissett. As always, I'm going to leave the original video and all the questions down below. I know a lot of people are doing this tag like a month or two ago, but it just doesn't feel like the end of the year to me until November. So I'm doing it now, better late than never. So that's what today's video is going to be. Question number 1. Are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? Only one, actually, and that is Sense and Sensibility and Sea Monsters. I just had a really hard time getting into this book. I decided to read it right after reading Sense and Sensibility because I thought that would just make it more fun and easy to see the parallels between the two, so I just thought that would be an easier way to read it. But I got halfway through. I don't know if you can see the bookmark there. And I was just so bored. I wasn't a big fan of Sense and Sensibility to begin with, so I think it just felt too much like I was having to reread it all over again, but also there's so much more content. So I decided to temporarily set it down. It's not officially a DNF, so I'd like to finish it by the end of the year because I know that if I wait too long, I'm not going to want to go back to it. But I do want to go back to it. It's just going to feel like too much of a chore if I wait longer. So, this book. Question number 2. Do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? So it's actually snowing and there's a decent amount of snow outside. So reading like a nice fall time book just doesn't seem appropriate anymore. So I decided to go with a wintry book instead. And that's going to be my Jack London Tales of the North. This is just a full collection of all of his stories, and I'm not going to finish this. I know I'm not going to finish it, but I like to just pick away at it, and I think I would like to at least start it. This is a gigantic book, and it is tiny print. So yeah, no way in heck that I'm going to finish this by the end of the year. But I'd like to get at least a couple stories in and just feel all nice and cozy and wintry. Question number 3. Is there a new release you're still waiting for? I think it's actually just been released or is very close to being released, but I don't own it yet. But that is going to be The Toll by Neil Shusterman. I loved the first 2 books, Scythe and Thunderhead, and I really want to see how the series wraps up. I don't know when I'm going to get to it because I don't buy that many new books, but I guess that would be the closest thing to a new release that I'm waiting for. Question number 4. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I had a good long look at my shelves and managed to pick out 3. The first one is Eyes of Horus by Joan. If you've been watching my channel since January, this is one of the books that is on my goal list to read before the end of the year, and I just still haven't gotten to it. I picked out this one because it has been on my shelf for the longest out of any of my unread books, and I just want to get to it. I don't know why I'm not picking it up. It just, for some reason, I'm just not gravitating towards it. It's just over 400 pages, and I mean, the font is about average, so it's not like it's a big chore to read. I just haven't got into it, but I would really like to before the end of the year. The next one is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Fun fact, I actually only realized like 3 months ago that her name is Leigh Bardugo. I hear her mentioned all over BookTube, which is why I really want to read this book, but the way people were saying it, I thought her name was Leigh Bardugo. Like, her first name was Leigh and her last name was Dugo. But that's not the case, so sorry. But this seems to be one of the all-time favorites on BookTube, so I own it and I would really like to get to it by the end of the year. And also, since everybody's talking about this new adaptation that's coming out, I want to read it sooner rather than later because I don't want to get spoiled for anything. I'd like to read this before the end of the year. And the third one I picked out was Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. I love Brandon Sanderson so much. I have a Brandon Sanderson related video idea, and I think I would like to read this book for it, but I haven't quite made up my mind. But either way, I would still like to get to this because I love Brandon Sanderson, and I just want to read more of his books. Question number 5. Is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite of the year? I mean, if we're talking about books that could shock me, I'm gonna guess this one because every time I read a Brandon Sanderson book, I get shocked. As far as becoming my favorite, I don't know. I read a lot of really good books this year. I'm already kind of dreading my top 10 books of 2019 video because it's going to be so hard to narrow it down, I think. Out of the ones that I've mentioned here, I think that Way of Kings or Six of Crows are probably the two most likely candidates. I'm expecting them to be at least like 9 out of 10s, but I don't know if they're going to be new favorites because the bar is just set really, really high. And finally, question number 6. Have you already started making reading plans for 2020? I haven't picked out specific books, but I have some general reading plans. Like, I know that I want to participate in the Owls and Newts readathons again because those were so much fun this year. I've pretty much made up my mind for what I'm going to set my Goodreads goal to next year, and I have some more goal-related reading plans, but not really specific books. And that was the final question. So that was the end of year book tag. Again, questions and original video are all down below. It's really making me a little bit nervous realizing how close to the end of year we are, especially because it's Nanowrimo this month and I've been trying to stay on top of my reading, but it's so hard for me to read in November because most of my free time is writing, and a lot of times I'm just not in the mood to read because that's just too much book-related stuff in my brain all at once. So I really only have December, and it's okay, it's fine. Now I'm seeing why so many people did this video back in like October. But anyway, that is all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please click the like button to let me know, and subscribe to see if I actually finish these books by the end of the year, and all my other videos. In the month of November, I'm doing Nanowrimo vlogs 5 days a week and other videos twice a week, and then after November, I'm going back to my regular schedule of videos every Wednesday and Sunday. So I hope to see you guys next time, and until then, have a great day. Bye!